Hello, everyone. My name is Nadia Bernard, and I am here today for Nadia Talk. Something different, not Ted, but it's Nadia. So, today we're going to discuss building relationships in higher education. So, for me, balancing motherhood and student life can be quite overwhelming. There was times where I wanted to give up. There was times where I was motivated, and there was days where I just wanted to sleep. I remember having a professor, Dr. Barrow, who there was just a week where everything, when I say it felt like everything could go wrong, it went wrong, and I turned in the absolute worst paper. But instead of her criticizing me, we had a conversation, and she inspired me with her words. And she said that, to sum it up, is I see how hard you're working and I admire your strength. Let's kind of figure out how we can make these things work for you. And it was just that small notion, that simple notion that changed the way that week went and eventually how that whole semester went, by speaking to me as an adult, because I am one. It was an adult to adult conversation, and we created this relationship where I felt comfortable. By her giving me insight, I was able to feel more comfortable. And I recognize that, these conversations, they illuminate the power of connection and learning. By her compassion, it truly changed the trajectory of a student's journey. And that's what we're here to discuss. How can we better build relationships with students for their success? So now let's discuss the importance of building trusting relationships. When students have a strong sense of trust in their teacher and feel secure within the classroom environment, they are significantly more inclined to express their thoughts freely. They inquire about topics that they find intriguing and take intellectual risk. There's a sense of safety that arises from their beliefs that their contributions, regardless of whether they are accurate or aligned with conventional thinking, will be appreciated and respected rather than criticized and penalized. Such an atmosphere encourages a culture of open dialogue, exploration, where students can engage in thoughtful discussion without the fear of negative repercussions. This in turn cultivates a more thoughtful discussion, a thoughtful and productive learning environment, allowing for deeper understanding and collaboration amongst peers. And it allows for a growth mindset. And a growth mindset is the belief that intelligence and abilities can be developed over time, unlike a fixed mindset, which seems things are predetermined by innate factors. Embracing a growth mindset is linked to positive academic outcomes such as increased curiosity, greater resilience, and improved performance. So, next, we're going to discuss the best practices for building rapport and relationships. So, the first thing is consistency and transparency. So, when building rapport with adult learners, it's vital to clarify their goals and expectations. A key principle of andragogy is that learners need to see the relevance of the materials, which affects how they integrate new information. So if content lacks purpose and fails to solve real world problems, it loses its value. Another aspect of building rapport is active listening. So engage in conversation that shows genuine interest in what students say, validating their thoughts and experiences. Active listening is essential for building rapport with adult learners who rely on communication and dialogue to construct meaningful discussions. So one of the biggest aspects of adult learning is addressing the different viewpoints. And so engaging in conversation with people who have different viewpoints can sometimes be challenging. I currently live in Georgia, and I am from South Central Los Angeles. And I moved to a southern state. So imagine my conversations. So, well, getting back into it, essential for building trust and strengthening relationships. So here are some strategies to help, turn difficult conversations into constructive discussion. So first, approach things with an open mind. We all come from different backgrounds and everyone has their own experience. Prioritizing listening to actually hear, not to listen to respond. Practice effective communication. So stay mindful of tone and demeanor. And by employing these strategies, we can foster thoughtful discussion that encourages growth and mutual respect. So one thing we can do is applying a Christian worldview to our teaching techniques and building rapport. So applying a Christian worldview in the classroom can significantly support culture and diversity. Some effective ways are recognizing that every person is created in the image of God, which fosters respect for diverse backgrounds and experiences. Celebrating individual identities through discussion and activities. Open dialogues, facilitate discussion panels and so you can get different cultural perspectives. Diverse curriculum, cooperation and unity, critical thinking. These approaches create a classroom that reflects a commitment to love, respect, and community, fostering understanding and meaningful relationships among students. Now, it's important that as we embrace these strategies, I urge educators to invest intentionally in the relationships they build with their students. By fostering a sense of belonging and understanding in the classroom, we are not only enriching their educational experience, but also shaping compassionate individuals who will contribute positively to society. Let's make a commitment to nurture these connections for the betterment of our students.